Hey podcast family, it's your girl Jennifer Tomlinson, host of Black Woman Be Well, and this episode is going to be a dope episode because I am joining my homeboy Taroy from Thoughts of an Average Joe podcast. I came up with the idea, I wanted to talk about this, and he was like, yeah, let's do it. So I went over to his studio, featured on his show, where we talk about today's topic, social anxiety, and we discuss what's been going on with Summer Walker. So you get two dope podcasters on this episode, and I think you'll enjoy. We end up talking about some random stuff towards the end, but honestly, that's what good conversation does. It takes you places, and places we do go. So I hope you enjoy this episode. And if you have a chance, please follow my guy at Thoughts of an Average Joe podcast. He's going to give you all his social media stuff at the end of the episode. Make sure you follow and support him as well. And I hope you enjoy the show.
Welcome to Thoughts of an Average Joe podcast. My name is Taroy Jackson, your favorite average Joe. And today I have another podcast creator from the Studio 17 Jam Session. She was featured on the podcast plug, the Woman Be Well podcast. What's going on? How you doing?
Hey, it's your girl Jennifer Tomlinson from Black Woman Be Well. It is a pleasure to be here, and thank you for having me and for showing me love on your show.
Hey, man, it's all about just trying to get everybody, everybody getting some love. That's all it is.
I love that.
You know what I'm saying? If I can get other people to listen to your podcast, that's what I'm gonna do. I tell everybody. If I make it big, but I can't get my people on, then what did I do? I ain't do anything. I ain't do anything. It's all about making sure we all eat. There's enough room in this podcast game for everybody.
If you got something to talk about, pick up a mic, go with it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
So, I will say that I'm really glad we met through Studio 17. Mm-hmm. That jam session was awesome, and it's cool how we all got a little friendship in the group chat or whatever. So
it do be interesting.
It
be wild in there, but it do.
Well, you had Barack Obama out here already, and she was wilding out on your show.
Yeah, she was definitely wilding out. Good thing for Jay. Jay was like the piece between us, because I came off the bat heavy within the first 4 minutes. Like let's get this cracking. So then I had Diana on there. She's real dope. So I was featured on Nikki's podcast. I had DJ on there, so I know that most about her, but you're probably the only person that ain't been on there yet.
Professor Life.
Hey, man, I know. I get it. You know what I'm saying?
Every weekend. And in the beginning, it was I had free time, and then when September hit, when them grades, the papers started coming in, I was like, hold the front door. I'll see you in January.
It'd be like that, man. Listen, when I was a student, I was getting stressed, so I can't even imagine being a teacher. You got to teach it, then you got to grade it.
I can't even. I have 300 things to grade by this weekend. So, but I had to come for this topic. I had to make the time to talk about what we want to talk about today. So I made an effort, and I got to just grade that stuff later.
I appreciate it. I definitely appreciate it. So, all right. So you brought this to me. So what did you want to talk about?
I want to talk about what's been going on with Summer Walker.
Okay.
Have you been following what's going on social media with her?
A little bit. I know she canceled her tour dates due to anxiety or something like that.
Yes.
Okay.
So, did you hear about her meet and greet?
No.
All right. So one person posted on Instagram or something that she paid for the meet and greet with Summer Walker after the concert, and those tickets are wild expensive. I don't know how much she charged, but I know Big Crit was already $175, so I can imagine hers is triple digits too. But Summer Walker will not hug you, will not hold your hand.
So what you paying for?
Exactly. So the girl posts the picture, and it's her standing and Summer Walker kind of doing that awkward leaning.
Hold up. Is that the meme? Is that her with the memes going around? Was she all stiff, or was that somebody else?
Oh, the one she's all stiff that's another thing. All right, let's get to that in a second. But this picture, and she looked mad bummy. She didn't even dress up for it. She looked tired. And then, so the girl goes ham. I spent all this money. I will never do this again. I was a fan, and after this, I'll never be a fan again. And people are talking about, why would you have meet and greets? Why would you charge people meet and greets if you're not going to actually meet and greet them?
Exactly.
Summer Walker says, well, I'm a high level empath, and so all that energy from people is too much for me to handle. So, and then she revealed to the world that she suffers from social anxiety. The picture you talking about is from the Soul Train Rewards, right? Where she's in the white.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's her posing the red carpet, man.
Oof.
Yeah, that's rough.
That's rough, man. That is rough.
You know, and there's this expectation for women to be like, kind of, you know, at least like hold your hip, flip your hair or something. That girl looked like she was taking a 3rd grade school picture.
Something, man.
But she looked like she had social, like she looks awkward, right? So, and like the media is going ham, like the jokes, the memes, and people really also just being like hard on her, like, you know, this is, if you pick this industry, you have to suck it up and do it. And so I kind of saw both sides of the story, and why I wanted to talk about it. And why I wanted to talk about it was because, you know, my podcast is all about the experience of being a Black woman. And this example, if we get into it, it'll be it's a perfect example of how Black women, we can't ever do it right. You damned if you do, damned if you don't. You know,
I agree with you 100%. That's probably gonna be one topic I want to talk about in season 2.
Yeah,
is the value of the Black woman, and just about how like Black women, like Black men have it hard, but definitely Black women have it extremely hard. Because number one, you're Black, you're a woman. So if we're at the bottom of the totem pole, y'all like in the frozen tundra of the totem pole. Like,
exactly.
You know what I'm saying? Like y'all gotta scratch and claw just to get to where we at.
Exactly.
So I agree with you 100%.
Yeah, there's a social hierarchy, and we're always at the bottom.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Now, when it comes to Summer Walker, like I said, I see both sides of I do see both sides of the spectrum.
Yeah.
Because I do see where fans will get upset. Like, I'm paying all this money, and I can't even get a hug. And, you know, I look up to you. I listen to your music. I'm supporting you. But I also do see her side of it as to where, like, yo, I get social anxiety. Like, who knows? Maybe she, like, there are some artists, because I used to make music. So there are some artists who just make music to make music. Like me, before I did my podcast, and I just made music to make music. I never really released it, tried to do a single for it, because I didn't want to be popular.
Yeah.
I don't mind being popular, but I didn't want to be popular. More of a just, you know, behind the scenes background guy. So I do get where she's coming from, but from that spectrum. But when you do make it big, like, you do have an obligation to your fans. It's just like when athletes are out here playing professional sports. People, basically, the fans are paying your salary. So the least you can do is sign a few autographs. No, I don't want to sign it. That's your obligation, because at the end of the day, if the fans don't show up, the checks are going to stop coming.
Right.
So I can see why she has social anxiety, but also at the same time, like, they're supporting you.
I see that side too.
Because if they weren't supporting you, you wouldn't have blown up. Because to be honest with you, her album ain't all that great, in my personal opinion.
I'm going to put a pin on that, because I do want to talk about the music. At some point, let's talk about it, because, like, I kind of feel the same way you do. But to your other point, though, like, you make music just for the sake of making it. Like, it brings you joy. You don't have to be famous, or you know, if you lived off it would be good, but you're gonna make music regardless.
See, that's how I felt about her. Like, I felt like the EP she did, because I didn't hear, I didn't even know who she was, so I heard Girls Need Love. Like, that's my jam. Like, I just replaced the Boys Need Love. I just replaced the boys with the girls.
With the girls.
Yeah, because I ain't singing Boys Need Love. I ain't with that. I just replaced the boys with the girls. But that's the first time I heard of her. But I don't necessarily think that maybe she thought it was going to blow up the way she did. Maybe.
I also feel like, who is your manager? Because they know you. They know you're introverted. They know that you don't like people. But I don't think it's her. Somebody was like, we doing meet and greets because we got to get this money. Like, who's your manager? Are they really looking out for you?
Exactly. Who's your team? Or are they looking out for their own pockets?
Boom. So because there's no way you could see somebody like that. Did you see how she posed? To be like, yeah, you finna hug a bunch of people for $150. There's just no way, right? Like, who's on your team? And this reminds me too about, like, why it's also important for women, Black women, to find your voice. Because if you are in that situation, you need to be able to speak up for yourself and say, I don't do meet and greets in that way. You got to design something else that fits my, personality and what I can handle. I can't handle that. You know, but if you don't have a voice, somebody else is going to tell you what you're going to do, and you're going to end up embarrassing yourself like that. You know,
but, I mean, it's going to be interesting because she canceled a lot of her tour dates, right?
I think like well, first of all, I need to find this out because the tour was called First and Last. So I think it was like her only tour.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if this was her only album.
And then she canceled the rest of the tour.
I wouldn't be surprised.
And the way she got flamed, I wouldn't be surprised either if she didn't come back.
I wouldn't be surprised because if I'm looking at it right, First and Last, and you have social anxiety. So she did the EP. She did what? The 2 EPs, and then came out with the album. And I think if I'm just going on top of my head, the reason why I would think it's probably called First and Last because that met her contractual obligations. So
that's true.
After that, she probably ain't, she ain't need to do it. But if that is going to be your First and Last, and it's going to be your only album, and people have paid to see you, I do feel like
I agree.
You have the obligation to
either don't have it, don't do the meet and greets, or you got to make it work, baby. Like I get it too. Like I see that side.
Like I get you. So there's this podcast I listen to called Advice from a Fuckboy. I don't know if you listen to him, Clint Coley, and like he struggles with like depression or whatever, and he had canceled a few tour dates, but he made it up. Like he canceled it and then he came back, and he eventually went back to those cities to make it up. So if you're gonna cancel it, I feel like you should at least either, because if I'm coming to see you, and like let's say for example for the people that, because you don't know what people have done to come see you. So like
that's true.
You know what I'm saying? There could be people from like, okay, they're not coming to my city, but she's coming to Miami, so I'm gonna take a flight to Miami. Yep. And they might not be able to get that refunded. It may just be like airline credit, and now they're, you know what I'm saying? Like it's situations like that to where I feel like artists do have to take that into consideration.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because like you never know what people.
But let's talk about what actual like social anxiety is, because I don't know if you've ever suffered from it. My anxiety is tied to my depression. So properly diagnosed. I used to take a pill or two, keep it under control. Now it's very well managed, but I suffer from anxiety. I don't have social anxiety, and social anxiety, as I was kind of researching for the show, it creates an irrational fear brought on by how you engage with society. So it's easily feeling humiliated. There's this fear of being judged. There's this, it's just irrational fear. And it's not like, oh, you're nervous. Like people don't understand, like anxiety is a diagnosed disorder. Some people got to be on medication for it. So like for me, and I'm switching to the other side, trying to see her side of it. If Summer Walker had cancer and canceled her tour because of cancer, nobody would question it.
Exactly.
But because of anxiety, because it's labeled anxiety and people don't really understand the scope of how it can actually like mess you up, there's no sympathy or understanding of her situation because people don't understand anxiety. It's like, you need to suck it up. And I get it too, because that's another thing that Black women do. We're the super women. Exactly. So it's like, we can never acknowledge our health issues and our pain. We can never like just say, I can't do this. We have to somehow, because society tells us to, pretend like you're, like it doesn't exist, put on a mask and keep functioning. But it's like, nah, the girl is sick. Social anxiety is real. Some people got to take medication for it. So for me, it's like, yeah, she has to cancel it because she can't do it. On that part, I can get it.
I get it. Like, as much as like, cause see, I'm really on the fence about it. I do see from where the fans are coming from, but also because I know people that struggle with like mental health and everything like that. I also know you have to take care of yourself at the end of the day, because if you don't take care of yourself and then something happens and you can't take it and you end up perishing off this earth, it's going to be like, oh, she was such a sweet soul, but because she tried to put everybody before herself, she ended up passing away. So I do see both sides of the spectrum. Like I wouldn't necessarily like, if you cancel it, as long as I get my money back, that's cool. Because 9 times out of 10, I'm not driving no more an hour or 2 hours to see you anyway. Like,
I'm the same way too. Like you had to be something special for me to take a flight out to come see you.
Exactly.
Yeah. But people do it. But yeah.
So I do see, like, I don't feel like she should have got ridiculed the way she should have got ridiculed.
I mean, ridicule. That's the part.
And I think that's the problem with this day and age that we're living in, because this happens in the past. You cancel the tour, all right, we get your money back. But now, you
get inflamed.
Yes, every information is so easily accessed to where it's like they find out 0.5 seconds, and Twitter is just going ham on you.
You gonna become a meme.
That's why, like, if I ever get famous, I'm deleting my Twitter. I'm sorry. Like, I barely use it now. I just activated it for the podcast, but I barely use it now. So I go right back to deactivating it. Because for what? I don't want to get, like, that is, if somebody is really not strong and secure in who they are, that can really mess them up.
And imagine, like, this is the crazy part too. Like, her fear was being judged. Like, if you think of the symptoms of social anxiety is fear of being judged, humiliated, condemned, embarrassed, and she's getting all of her, like, so all of her irrational fears are being validated. Like, that's scary.
Exactly. It's like, okay, I'm making money, but at the end of the day, if my worst fears are coming true, why do I need to do this?
Yeah.
So like I said, I see both sides of the spectrum.
Yeah. And the entertainment industry is not designed for introverts. But let me make this argument. The world is not designed for introverts.
Correct.
Like, even the fact that we do job interviews is so stupid. It does not help you pick the best candidate for a job. And people that do well on interviews are extroverts, where they can create a presence and shine, and they might not even be good at the job. Meanwhile, the introvert who might not be able to articulate themselves that clearly, or is kind of shy, or is kind of outshadowed by the previous candidate, will lose out an opportunity because the world is just not designed for it. So for, like, people in the entertainment industry, if you only validate the extroverts, you missed out on a lot of talent, because there are a lot of, people that are just a little different that can't get the same kind of love and support from their fans. You know?
Exactly. I feel you. I feel that's real. Like, you can go on an interview. Let's say I go on an interview, you go on an interview. You're an introvert. I'm a extrovert. I may get the job, but you're probably a better fit for the job.
I'm gonna outshine you. Yep. And can't do nothing, but I could talk a good talk.
Exactly.
So I know we kind of talked about it already, but before the show started, but I do want to ask you again, like, you are a self-proclaimed nerd. So can you tell people about your experiences? Like, when have you ever felt like the most odd, like different from
probably
everybody else?
Middle school and high school.
Okay.
I was like this real skinny kid. I'm still skinny now, but I was real skinny then. It was middle school was real bad. Well, was it middle school? Middle school was real bad because I got teased a lot. I got called a turtle, got called a frog. It was rough. It was real bad.
You don't even look like a turtle. I don't even understand that.
Kids
are so stupid.
Listen, man. Them people up north is rough. It ain't like it is down south. Like I think I was talking to somebody. It might have been DJ when me and DJ's episode, and I told him, man, I was like, it was the Ciroc one. I was like, these southern women are so much nicer than these northern women, man. Like, you don't understand. Like,
you're from New York, right?
Jersey, New Jersey, yeah. South
women
Jersey.
Up there are aggressive.
Very aggressive.
That's accurate.
And I got teased a lot.
Yeah.
But I was always, I wouldn't say secure in myself. I didn't really get secure in myself until probably about my second year at Florida A&M.
Oh, okay.
But I was never like, I normally just, stayed to myself. I had a couple people in middle school. Like, I was real bad in middle school growing up until about like the 8th grade. And then that's when everything clicked. I started to have a little bit of friends. And then high school, I just normally stuck to, I had like 5 friends. I normally just had a lot of social. People knew me because I was always in trouble. I got suspended at least once a year in high school.
Are you serious?
Yeah, at least once a year for stupid stuff.
Wow.
Like, one time I got suspended because, like, the one thing how I am is if I see that something's not right, I'm going to stick up for it. So it's just like real quiet, nerdier kid than me. And the lunch lady, like, accidentally dropped the pizza on the floor, was going to serve it to him.
Oh, my God.
And I'm like, nah, because if you serve it to him, that means you're going to want me to take it. And I ain't going to take it, so I stuck up for him. And somehow we ended up getting into a shouter match. Vice principal come in there, end up getting suspended because I didn't listen to authority. But I'm like, that's not even my fault. I'm saying I'll get in trouble for stupid stuff. But it was probably, say, middle school. Middle school.
Did you ever suffer from like anxiety? Have you ever had like a panic attack or anxiety because of it, or do you even remember? Because sometimes we experience things that aren't diagnosed, so we don't even know.
Nah, not really. The only thing I probably get close is I can do well with a group of people, but I do not like I hate going to clubs. Like, I do not like a whole bunch of crowded spaces.
I'm laughing because I remember your Barack Obama episode, and like a whole story with that. Like, that's not your thing.
Exactly. Like, I do not do that. I don't like, even bars, like, and everybody dancing. I just don't like being in a group of people where I'm more claustrophobic than everything, where everything is just so tight. Like, I need to be able to move and breathe, and then they ain't trying to move out the way, and then I'm willing to just bump you out the way. Like, I need to go.
Does that create anxiety though when you're around a lot of people?
A little bit, yeah, because I start to panic a little bit. Like, I start to panic. Like, it's not so much being in a group of people, it's being in a tight space with a group of people. So, like, I don't know. Like, if I go to like a bar and we're playing music and everybody's dancing and I'm trying to leave and I can't, I start to get a little bit of like I start to panic a little bit.
I think your story is probably what a lot of people go through. Like, most people probably have issues with like panicking at, whatever their triggers are, but we can mostly manage it. Most people know how to manage it, or they know like, this is my trigger, I'm finna go. But some of us, like me, there are sometimes it just cannot be controlled. Like, my heart will start beating, I'll start to hyperventilate. Sometimes I get lightheaded. When it's really bad, I'll either like, throw up or and that's, at the time, I don't take them anymore. I used to have to take Clonazepam because I couldn't function. I'd be stalled for like hours, or I'd wake up and can't get out the bed, But I think most people can relate to Summer Walker if they just remembered.
Exactly, yeah. Like, everybody thinks now it's just because, like, oh, she has an obligation. But at the end of the day, like I said, you got to make sure you take care of you. But
yeah, because what do you say to the mother that suffers from it? You have an obligation to your kids, right? But you still suffer from it. Like, you still got to figure it out,
Exactly.
That's why your earlier point, I could see what you were saying. Like, you still have an obligation. So I guess a good thought to throw out is, like, not to devalue her issues. Like, let's validate it. Like, dang, she got an issue. But Summer, you still got an obligation.
Exactly.
Right.
Exactly.
Right.
I feel you. I mean, I think that's all. A lot of people make jokes about it, but I think that's all, like, people really want. Like, I'm saying, like, if I think people could deal with, like, okay, so I'm gonna do this concert, but not every show, maybe like 1 out of 4 shows you can have like VIP access, do meet and greet stuff. Yeah, like
there's
that.
So many things you could do.
There's
as
so
an
many
alternative.
workarounds around it.
You could do a group meet and greet where you're kind of like in the front and people are just sitting at tables while you're talking. Like, there are things, she ain't got no good management.
She don't.
That is stupid. You can look at that girl and be like, she too weird. We got to do something different.
Exactly, because I believe when it comes to artists, tours is how they make their money. So I'm sitting there going, like, you're doing all this, but how are you making your money back? Like, so I get where you're coming from.
Yeah. Let's talk about awkwardness, because I too was a nerd. Middle school is also hard for me. Specifically 8th grade. I transitioned from like a small private school to a slightly bigger private school in 8th grade. And it should not have been a hard transition, but it was. I got teased horribly. I mean, people just didn't understand. I was new. I didn't know how to fit in. I was very socially awkward. I'm an extrovert now because my father taught me how to be an extrovert. I'm naturally an introvert. So that was like, when you're 12 or 13, that's your test, like your real life test of, can you handle social interactions, and I failed. I got an F on that test because I did not know how to like socialize with people that weren't already my close-knit friends from my previous school. And so a lot of my current adult triggers actually stem from all the way back then. And the only way I got out of it, I remember like in 9th grade, the summer before 9th grade, I was like, I can't keep doing this. And I'm not speaking this language as a child. I can know now as an adult what I was thinking, but it was, how things are just subconscious. So I was like, I can't keep doing this. I want to, I can't keep being made fun of. So I decided to take my whole life back. And high school for me was like, I'm going to embrace my difference and gonna wear the non-conformity like a badge. Like what you listen to, I don't listen to. Like everybody that's black likes hip hop. Well, I like old school rock cam, like real old school hip hop, like my brothers listen to. You like R&B, I like garage music. You watch Toonami, well, I would go to the flea market with my mom and hunt old VHS tapes for like those like animes nobody heard of, because at the time the internet wasn't like, we was still on dial-up back then. Like it would take a million years to download an episode of anything off of Napster.
Oh, yes. And LimeWire.
Right, LimeWire.
All facts.
So I was always like, I'm not going to like what everybody else likes. I'm going to be different. I'm going to embrace it. So that was kind of like me embracing and kind of taking control of my nerdiness, because I just knew, well, you're not going to accept me, so I'm just going to. But a lot of people don't do that. Most people implode on themselves.
Yeah. I agree. Most people do implode themselves instead of just accepting who they are. Because it's crazy. Like, you get picked on for being a nerd growing up, but then when you get older, it's like the roles reversed. It's like people want nerds. It's like now all of a sudden everybody's in anime. Like, when was this? Like,
where was this when I was 13?
Yeah, exactly. Like, you know what I'm saying? When was this where you know what I'm saying, when I was getting bullied? Like, y'all like 18 years too late. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I agree exactly.
And that was like streaming services. People are all like trying to find the new different sound or trying to listen to something that nobody else listens to. And I was like, I was made fun of that, made fun of for that back then, you know, but now it's like the norm to be different.
It is. I think it's the norm to be different. And I don't necessarily know this is true, but just my personal opinion. I think Donald Glover brought that out.
Yeah.
help bring that out to the forefront.
The cool nerd.
Sure, exactly, yeah.
Like, how do you be a nerd and still have swag? Yeah.
I agree.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's weird because it's just like I'll get picked on that stuff, and then now I'm an adult and
everybody loves it.
Exactly.
People be coming to me like, "What are you watching? What are you doing?"
Yeah, exactly. Like, where was you at? XYZ amount of years ago. Like, where was you at when I needed somebody to talk to about this, and now everybody want to come to you. I get it.
And just imagine, like, if it was hard for you as a black man, because being a black nerd is already hard, but it's even worse as a black girl, because there are like certain expectations that there's just certain things you don't do as a girl, period. And then you have that, like you said earlier, this intersectionality of being black and a woman. And like, it's just like we're never validated or we're never thought of. So when we do speak up, it's like, why are you talking?
No, I feel you 100%.
And that's the same thing that's happening with Summer Walker. Like, she is being vulnerable. Like, yeah, I suffer from social anxiety. If it was anybody else, she might be called eclectic or quirky. But because she's a black woman and she's got tats and I guess she's from the hood, it's like, you're weird. No one believes you.
And she's in the spotlight.
Right. But if it was like an Ed Sheridan or something, you'd be like, oh, Ed Sheridan is, he's just so brilliant. His music just makes him so introverted.
That color complex is real. Like, so the difference between Summer Walker and Ed Sheridan ain't really much, but because he's a white male, he's brilliant and all this and all of that. Like, we can take it a step further. I don't think Adele's better than Jennifer Hudson, but everybody swears Adele's just like this best thing ever. I'm sitting there going like, what was her one song? Because I don't listen to music like that. It was the only song I listened to was the Hello from the Other Side song. I'm like, Joe sung it better than you. Like, people singing your song better than you, and they say you like just this soul person. Like, no,
I think we give so many white artists that can do black things not so well, but because they can do black things, we give them like so much credit.
I'll give you a perfect example. Like, Justin Timberlake eats off of black culture.
Yep.
When he wants to be black.
Yep.
And then now that he's used up all his black resources, wants to go do some country stuff.
Right.
Like, bro, come on.
He's coming back though.
I like his music.
The country thing didn't work out, and yeah, he got hits, but he's not that great of a singer.
He's not.
He can croon, he got runs, but he's not that great of a singer.
He's not. So
he's famous because of Timberland.
Yep,
period.
I'll be trying to figure out what's the difference between Justin Timberlake and Mario. Like,
Timbaland.
You know, like I'm saying, like Mario can sing. Mario got hits, and I don't never hear from Mario no more. That was
I love. And Mario has great runs, great timbre in his voice. Mario can blow, but he didn't have the backing because Justin Timberlake, when you're white and you got a little blue-eyed soul, we'd be like, oh my god, and we clap real hard for no reason.
For no reason. I be listening to him, I'm like, yo, man, your music tight, but when he went to country, just opened my eyes, I'm like, bro, so you did all this to eat off of black culture, now you want to go to country try to go to your natural roots. Like, nobody will hear that.
Same thing happened with Hannah Montana. What's her name?
Miley Cyrus?
Miley Cyrus. She did the same thing. You know.
But I ain't never liked her music to begin with, so I ain't really care for her like
Same. I really think it's important and that's the point of my podcast, is to really validate the black female perspective, because it's so missing, and when we do speak up, we get ridiculed. You know, and when I think about, because I also teach African American humanities, so I talk about this a lot in the classroom. When, you know, slavery took away our identity for 400 years, and it also, so whatever we were before, we have no concept of, like, you know, if we were goddesses or kings and queens or whatever. So we were stripped from an actual identity, but we were also conditioned through the acts of slavery. And black women in particular, the lesson is taught, like, through society, that you don't have access to your body. We do, you know, and it's like that for all women, actually, because of the patriarchy. So even white women, like, there's that element, but at least white women are part of the protected class.
Exactly. Black
women are not protected, and we don't have access. Like, people feel like society feels like they can just use us up.
They can. They feel like society feels like, okay, we basically want their jeans, we want their ass, we want their hips, we want their lips. But the Kim Kardashians are a perfect example of it.
Entertainment,
and like they're eating off of black features, and I'm sitting there going, like, why don't y'all just support an actual black woman
with an actual natural?
Exactly. Yeah. I just don't be understanding how they got so popular. I'm just sitting there going, like, they eating off a black woman, and people think it's okay. It's not. Like,
it's not. You can't pay for what we look like, but also don't like us.
Like, we got sex traffickers snatching up black women daily. Like, you know what I'm saying? It's like I saw an article, it was like over 66,000 black women alone in the United States.
And nobody cares because they're black women. If they were white women,
it'd be a whole deal.
It'd be an FBI investigation, government shutdown.
But because it's black women, it's like, oh, okay, like, we're not going to go look for them. That's up.
Did you watch the R. Kelly, Surviving R. Kelly thing?
I did not.
Okay.
I didn't want to.
I didn't either. I just saw it because it came out on Netflix, and I had to take my time each episode. But and I won't put too many spoilers, but this one spoiler, not that it's a spoiler, it's not like a film. Oh my God, I sound so stupid. But for those that haven't watched it, there is a scene where they invited one of the jurors. Because didn't you wonder? We were kids when R. Kelly went to trial, right? And I remember being like, how did he get off?
That's what I'm trying to figure out.
How did he get? They had a tape. They had like a million witnesses, but who were the witnesses? Black women. So they brought a juror up, and they were like trying to pick his brain, like, you know, what was so convincing in the evidence that made you feel like he wasn't guilty. And this guy was like, to be honest, you could just tell when you looked at the girls, I didn't believe anything they said because of how they dressed and the way they looked. You can just tell they were fast girls.
But that's what be irking my nerves, because white women are just as fast, if not more, than black women. But there has been white women lying on black men that they raped them and they going to jail and they don't nothing happen to them. But when something happens to a black woman, you want to say you don't believe it?
Exactly.
Like, what is you?
How do you have 10 witnesses up there like this is my experience with this man, and they stories all line up to the evidence too, like the physical evidence. Even the girl in the video with the little girl was like, that's me, that's that little girl, and that's him. We was all in that video. You could clearly see her, and you gonna be like, I don't believe her. Because people don't listen to black women.
Nope, they sure don't.
They don't validate our feelings. It's like, it's a joke. You know, another example too was Serena Williams. Remember that part of that her story when she had her baby?
Yep. Mm-hmm.
And that's a big thing in the medical community.
That really is, because there's a lot of black women dying because of childbirth because they're not listening. My whole thing is, if you're a nurse and I'm telling you
I'm in pain,
like, how are you going to tell me I'm not in pain? You don't know. You don't feel what I'm going through.
It's not that bad. Everybody feels pain. But I'm telling you, this is a little extra, lady. No. It's not that serious.
And then they get mad when, let's say, God forbid, something would happen to Serena and she would have died. Her family sued. Oh, we're sorry. We didn't know. Nah, you knew. You just chose not. Like, come on now.
How many degrees does it take to believe a black woman in a damn hospital room? Come on.
Exactly.
She had to have her. That's why I tell black women, you got to speak up for yourself. She had to have her voice and say, nah, something is wrong. Luckily for her, she had the resources to be like, order the x-ray. Because if you ain't got no resources, you know, poor people die. But at least she had her voice and she ordered the x-ray. Boom, blood clot. That is crazy. How you don't believe somebody is in pain with a blood clot?
Talking about we don't believe you. Like, bro, like, that's why, like, when I do have kids that get married, like, I'm really thinking about, like, yo, maybe we should just get a midwife. Because
you not really believing in the
I don't. Like, industry. I never believed it. Like, I went to the hospital one time, like, my stomach was hurting. I don't know what happened, and the doctors couldn't tell me what was wrong. And I'm like, so I spent $100 and you can't tell me you can't tell me what's wrong. You're supposed to be giving me this medicine to numb my stomach and it numb my throat. Like, what is you doing? But then you want me to pay you? No, I'm not paying you because you ain't do nothing.
The medical industry is set up to help you, but you would be stupid to think they're not designed to exploit your money.
Exactly.
You know, and my first 3 episodes was all about that, like doing your own research and building your connection of medical people. Because if you out here just trusting whoever says, they might not actually believe that you're in pain. They might think that you're a drug addict just because you're a black woman.
Like, for real. Like, we could be, we could just be clean cut and everything. And they just automatically have this assumption, oh, you're a drug addict.
Right. It don't matter how many degrees you have, what you look like, if you fresh or not, or if you have a tie or not. They're going to be like, nope. That's why you got to be real, real careful, because obviously, like, you should seek medical advice. I trust in doctors, you know, I trust in science, but I'd be stupid if I wouldn't think to also know that y'all trying to get my money, or get me out the room or whatever. I
don't know. After working in the hospital, I was like, nah, I can't get with
you.
This.
Worked in the hospital?
I was a dishwasher, but
so you got to see the real nitty gritty.
Yeah.
Of the
I was like, nah, I'm good.
Oh, man. Well, that's why I really wanted to talk about Summer Walker, because like you said, you could see arguments for both sides, right? Like, we want to advocate for the customers because y'all paid good money for the show. You might have saved up paychecks. People don't realize how hard people have to work for these tickets nowadays.
Especially these Beyonce tickets that be going on. She be charging, like,
why?
Rent.
That's rent, bro.
Like, I'm like, nah, y'all tripping.
Depending on what car you drive, that's a car note? No.
And then on top of that, like, I've never been to a concert just because I'm not going to want to stand for a few hours. Like, I'm going to need to sit down. So if you can get a concert to where I can sit down, I'm with you. The only concert I was going to go to, it was about two and a half years ago when J. Cole came to Orlando.
Yeah.
For the not the Forest Hills Drive, the other album after that. I don't know.
Okay.
I can't remember if it was like Truly Yours or something like that. And I was going to go, but I was working at my job at the time, and I was on like my last leg of attendance. And then I ended up getting fired the next day for some BS. And I'm like, yo, if I'd have known I was going to get fired, I could have just went. Like, you know what I'm saying?
That's
like,
trash. Oh, that sucks.
Straight trash. I was so hurt.
All I know, if I'm spending $500, I want velvet chairs, a cocktail, fuzzy slippers. I want to be able to be like, yes, queen, while I stand up and sit back down.
All of that. Because I was like, look, I like Beyonce, but I ain't paying $500. Like,
right.
I'm tripping. I like your music, but I ain't going to see you. The only people I will probably see in concert will probably be either J. Cole.
I want to see J. Cole.
There's other artist, Priest, because I'm a big fan of him. Or maybe like if Boyz II Men got back together, something like that.
They were just at Disney the other day, last year.
But
I want all 4.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
I need all of them.
I feel you.
Sing all the old school
Well,
hits.
we get into music. You want to go into the album then?
Yeah, let's go on the album.
So before we switch it up, let me just didn't get to finish my thought, but listen, I know y'all wanted to see her or whatever. It's trash that she's an artist and she ain't, meet and greet. But let's validate her existence. She's a human. She is sick. You got to look at it as like a sickness. It's not like I just got the nerves or the, the jitters. Social anxiety is real. People got to go to therapists. You got to get put on medication for that stuff. So validate her existence, and please just ease up a little bit. All right, so that we can actually validate the voices of our Black women out here.
Especially if y'all wanted to make more music, because it ain't
right.
That ain't helping.
Now, let's get into the music, because some of y'all want her to make more music, and I'm sticking up for a queen whose album I don't really like that much. Let's talk about it.
So, I've always like listening to her music. I'm like, she is how I tend to look at it is she is a person that banks off of a few hits to make the album. Because Girls Need Love, but the rest of the EP wasn't that great.
Good.
And then Clear, I ain't like that either. It was one song she had on there that wasn't an album. It wasn't an album. It was just a single. I can't remember what it was called. It was
Let me pull up her stuff, because I ain't really listened to her either.
It was a guitar.
Happened.
I could probably pull it up. Let me see. Because I just got Apple Music. I got the free trial. I'm deleting it in June. I was at work and clicked it by accident. I was like, dang. I was not trying to do that.
Bro, please don't forget, because they will charge your account.
And I'm not trying to pay $14.99.
This is Last Day of Summer an album or a single?
That's her second album.
That's
actually.
the LP?
Yeah, that's the LP.
Okay, I haven't listened to that. I've only listened to Over It.
Yeah, so that's straight. That one's actually better than the one she got out now.
Wait, when did this come out?
That came out last year, 2018.
No, Last Day of Summer?
No, Last Day of Summer. Yeah, 2018.
Oh, and then Over It came out this year.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I need to listen to it.
She came out with Last Day of Summer, and then she came out with Session 32. That's the song I'm talking about. That's probably one of my favorite songs that she did.
Why did I think Girls Need Love was on this album?
The Over It album?
Yeah.
Yeah, nah.
I'm having a brain fart.
The Over It album's alright. Like I like
not great.
I like the Playing Games extended version with Bryson Tiller, but I'm just like, and then I like the Come Through. I think Come Through is probably the best song on there.
Yeah.
With her and Usher.
Yeah.
And I like the what was it? The Stretch You Out one with featuring A Boogie.
So I've listened to it 3 times in the car. I need to sit down and actually listen to it and suspend my judgment. What I've noticed is I just love old school R&B so much. So this new emo R&B that we've been on, the last 7 years, it's been hard for me to warm up to.
We got a lot of nowadays where we like old school R&B, but we're getting a lot of like trap R&B.
Yes.
Or like...
And depressed R&B.
Exactly.
Like, like even the song, Girls Just Need Love or whatever, like, it's just sad,
I just want that R&B to where... You know what I'm saying? Me and my girl going through it, and I listen to Boyz II Men and put that on and be like, I got to make up with my girl. Bring some flowers or some candles. Nowadays, like,
right.
I know this R&B is just different.
It's
It's not really R&B to me.
Like you said, trap. I call it emo. Like, it's like depression central. But you said, I like how you said it's like trap, because you got like the trap beats in the background with the soft melody, but there's no range.
It really is.
So people stay in this like melodic pocket, and I like bridges. I like when when a song will take you to a climax and whatever.
Yeah, like matter of fact, like Usher was really good at that.
Yeah.
Like with There Goes My Baby and
Climax.
I'm up here singing them high notes.
Yes.
Like,
I want to hear a high note,
Exactly. I'm saying.
A couple of runs. I don't want to hear,
Exactly.
And Tinashe is so, is that her name?
Yeah, Tinashe, yeah.
Tinashe is so, like, known for that. Like, she's just whispering the whole time. You only singing 3 notes the whole song.
Yeah, like, bro, what are you doing?
I'm like, God.
And she fell off, too, because her first album was good. I liked it.
I love that first album, and that's when I got introduced to it. I'm like, okay, it's not that bad, but I don't know. She's just not a good writer, maybe, because she's been struggling to recapture that first album.
Exactly.
Have you listened to the new one?
No.
Me neither.
I haven't listened to it.
don't want to. I will. I've just been procrastinating. I have no like desire to. But I feel like with Summer Walker, she need to find her happy.
She do. Maybe music ain't it.
It could be it. You just need to go see a therapist.
Mm-hmm. Take some time off.
Take some time off.
Because you literally just came out with an album last year. It used to be like to where you come out with an album and we don't hear from you for like another 2-3 years.
Yeah.
You just building up that anticipation.
And she probably just struggles with it.
Mm-hmm.
But I think her voice actually would be really good with blues.
Yeah, I can see that.
If somebody with like a good bass player gave her like a dope bass, like a heavy bass line song.
I can see that.
And she just cried and wailed, but like that high wailing or something, like, you know, that might be her thing. I don't want this whole like trap like beat and the whole time, and you ain't really doing nothing in the song, and the lyrics are just.
You know what I'm saying?
Okay to be sad.
Like, where's that Luther at?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
because it's okay to be sad in music. I guess I shouldn't poo-poo on that, but if you're gonna be sad, like,
because there was a lot of Boyz II Men songs that was sad, doing
just
true. Fine, on Bended Knee.
That's true.
4 Seasons of Loneliness.
Their song with Mariah Carey is about a dead dude, ain't it?
Yeah, like, but they would make the sad songs. You can like relate to them.
Yeah,
you can't relate to this stuff no more.
You just smoke it. That kind of music of R&B now. You got to be high.
Thank you. It's like it's basically
high with Hennessy.
Exactly.
Like
that's basically what it is.
This thing talks to my soul because your soul is high. You can't think beyond 3 notes.
You're just smoking. You're just drinking, and that's what you do. Like if you high, you be like, "Oh, this is dope." But when you sober, you like, "Yo, what did she come,
bro?
What did she come out with?"
Listen to that on the highway when you driving, and you feel like, "Oh my god, turn this off." If you got a long ass drive, that album, any of them new R&B albums, be like, oh my god, I can't. Let me put on a mix.
So it's gonna be interesting because I want to see what SZA does next.
I do too.
It's gonna be very interesting.
It's gonna, and I hope her voice healed up because, I mean, there's not a whole. I mean, it wasn't. I don't know. You shouldn't be cracking on them type of songs. So I know she had like that surgery or something. I hope I don't know.
It's going to be interesting.
Yeah.
Because when I first listened to it, I didn't like her album, SZA's album, when it first came out.
Same.
But it grew on me.
Same.
But she has to, like, with all this new influx of female singers coming in, like, she got to step her game up.
Yeah.
She's going to have to.
But that thing you just described, I didn't like it at first, but it grew on me. That's me with all the albums, everybody. And I realized, damn, I'm old. I gotta catch up to the new R&B.
No, right? Like I'm saying, I gotta sit here and listen to it a few times and be like, all right, I see why people like this now. Because when I first listened to it, I was like, this is trash. I'm like, first of all, why are you? I was like, first of all, we got all these problems within the black community about black men and black women, and why are you out here saying that your man is my man is only on the weekend? Well, I was like, what? Like,
that's You don't like that song?
I do. I hate the video. I cannot. The video, I felt she was so lazy with that video. I'm thinking,
okay, that's a YouTube video. Like, yeah.
I'm thinking I'm gonna get like, you know, like, and I heard like Solange produced it. I think I'm gonna get like the old school R&B, actually, like, you know, her
drama and stuff. Yeah,
and I just see you dancing. What?
Don't you feel like a lot of the videos too is just like it's internet videos? Like they don't put no kind of thought. Yep,
no thought.
Because you don't watch them on TV like you used to. So
them days is over with.
There was a lot of potential for that song too, for it to be a dope video. Yeah.
Exactly. And I was just sitting there going like, because I was hyped, and I just looked. I was like, I'm really disappointed in you, Susan. I just want you to know
you could have tried. You could have.
I'm really disappointed in you.
You could have had a whole skit. You ain't give me nothing.
Like even the Love Galore song, the video, I didn't understand it. I was confused.
I haven't watched that.
I was like, bro, what are y'all doing with these videos? Like, I just didn't understand the video. I was like, what?
Well, what was the song with the video with Donald Glover? What song was that? He was in it. That was so cute. I don't remember the song, but I
think I know you're talking about. I don't remember the song, no.
I love that video.
Was it, hold up. Let me see. I might be able to pull it up.
I don't know.
Because I have her music here.
That was so beautiful. Somebody made a joke about Donald Glover that he only likes the cosplay, that he likes black women. Because he always, when he's acting or in a video, he's like super in love with her or whatever, but he got like this white lady.
Was it, let me see. It could have been either, let me see. I'm looking at it now. I don't think it was Doves in the Wind because that was with Kendrick. It was probably Supermodel or 20-something or... It was probably Supermodel.
Okay.
I think that was one of her famous songs, Supermodel. I think that was it. Matter of fact, I got Apple Music now.
For like 2 more weeks.
I know, right? Let me, they got the videos in here. Music videos, playing games, stretch you out. Great. I didn't know she dropped all these music videos in 2019. Like, where's
what? Bro, I'm sleeping.
Oh, my bad. That's Summer Walker. Wrong one. I was about to say. This is,
I have to get back to listening to stuff in my headphones instead of... It's like I only have time in the car, But you can't really appreciate a word.
It was Garden Say It Like That. That's what it was.
Oh, yeah. Yep. That video was beautiful.
It was a good video. I like Donald Glover.
Yeah. I love him. He's like the perfect mix of, like what you said earlier, nerdy and cool. Like, I need you to be able to wear a dashiki and look good in it, but also like watch anime with me.
Exactly. And represent for the culture.
Yes. I need all of it. I need you to be a nerd and awkward sometimes, but then when you need to speak up, you're like really articulate.
I get it. I get it 100%.
That's attractive to me. And I feel like he kind of looks like that.
I get it 100%.
Well, we're off topic.
So what else do you want to talk about?
That's it.
I
feel like whenever it's a good conversation when y'all start trailing in a different conversation. This is a good talk.
So that happens to me all the time. Like lately, like the last few episodes, like I haven't been taking notes. I normally like write notes, but I just been lazy because almost at the end of the season. So I'm just like, all right.
Well,
we're just gonna have a conversation, and whatever comes of it, just comes.
So I'm super anal. Like I have outline notes and all that, and then the last 3 episodes, I'll come in very prepared. Bloop, nope. Whatever the conversation end up going into was just freestyling.
Exactly.
That's always the best kind, though.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's why I be trying to tell people. They was like, well, how do you start a podcast? It's easy. You just having a conversation. You just figure out what you want to talk about. Stick to that until you get an actual audience. Then veer off to do whatever you want to do. Like, I know season 2, I'm still going to be talking about relationships, but I'm also going to be talking more about the black community, black women.
Bring me back for that.
Exactly. I'm going to be talking about, like, one of the episodes I'm going to be recording is, like, how black women get criticized for raising thugs, but white women get a pass for raising mass murderers. And it's, you get what I'm saying? So now that I got the audience, we about to get more divisive up in here. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
talk about controversial. I love it. I love that.
You can't, it's the same thing, essentially.
Don't talk about it now, bro.
I'm not.
Because we'll have the whole episode right now. Me and you. I already feel it. That is so good right there.
So,
heck yeah.
I've already started, like, some, preparing some episodes for that. And then, I did my parents, episode 5 on maintaining a healthy relationship. I wanted to do, originally, I had a whole idea before I even started the podcast. I was going to do a black love series, but with 4 different types of couples. So like a couple that's already been married, the kids are already grown, a couple that's been married for maybe about half the time, the oldest one has, and then a couple that just started off, that just got married, a young couple, and then a couple that's like maybe like in their 80s.
I love that idea.
I think what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna make it into like a podcast form. So I did the one with my parents, and then I'm doing the one with a couple that's more around my age. That's like a couple kids, and then we're just gonna talk about from their perspective, like how do you maintain a healthy relationship? Because I think that's crucial.
I agree, and it's needed. Like, I had my episode on I don't remember, it's like episode 5 or 6 on it was more like about yourself, but we ended up talking about relationships. But like, we talked about like the best tips for being in a relationship. So I had my best friend who was married, my sister who was married, and then my friend who's a mental health counselor, and she deals with relationships. And it was really a podcast about knowing yourself in a toxic relationship, but it turned into tips and stuff because that's so important.
Yep.
We don't have the understanding of what to do when you're in a relationship, and we end up doing stupid stuff. and wasting time.
Yep.
So give us that. We need that.
I got you. I'm gonna definitely get you on for season 2.
I feel like we should do, because I didn't know you was a nerd like that till like today.
So what did you think I was like?
I don't know. Like when we first met, I think I thought you were more of the sports guy because you had a sports podcast too.
Mm-hmm, I do.
So I think I only thought of you in that way.
So I'm a big sports guy.
But describe your nerdiness though, because there's levels to this.
Like, I'll sit here and be all geeked out on sports, but then I'll also, from time to time, will watch the Geographic Channel, or also from time to time will sit there and watch. So I'm not like a big anime guy, but I'll watch. I've been watching One Punch Man, and I've been watching what was it? The Alchemist Brothers or something like that, or Full Metal Alchemist?
Full Metal Alchemist.
Correct. Yeah. I don't understand that. But the only thing that be distracting me from anime from actually watching it is these long ass seasons. I'd be like, it's like
fast.
It's like 68 episodes in one season. I'm like, bro, what happened to 20?
And like, I'm the anime nerd. Like, I will watch the filler episodes, the episodes that are unnecessary that make it to 68. You know, I'll watch all of that.
So my best friend Antoine, he's teaching me, like, so he persuaded me to get Yu-Gi-Oh on PS4. I don't know how to play Yu-Gi-Oh, and he'd be whooping my behind, but he's teaching me how to play. So when I do get good, it's a wrap.
If you play that, you'll surpass me on the level of nerdiness. Because I don't like Yu-Gi-Oh, I don't like Pokemon, I don't like none of that.
See, when Pokemon Go came out, I watched a lot of Pokemon growing up. When Pokemon Go came out, I was out here 1 o'clock in the morning trying to check Pokemon. I'm going downtown, walking, trying to catch it. I was doing all that.
There are levels to this. I'm not that level.
Okay.
But I am like cosplay level. Are you cosplay level?
I haven't done it. I do want to do it. I would love to go to Comic-Con. I just don't really like keep up with it. Yeah. I would love to go to Comic-Con.
I love MegaCon and Tampa Bay Comic-Con. I will put on some tights with my fat butt, like out here looking, you know, because that stuff is fun to me.
Yeah, because they be really dressing up. Like, I'd be impressed. I'd be really impressed.
I always do the easier ones. I can't build nothing. I'm not crafty, but I will buy some pieces. Like, I don't know, did you ever watch Naruto?
I heard of it. I haven't watched it though.
Okay. So I like dressing up as Rock Lee, and he's really easy. You get some leotards. And
I saw because I was a big Dragon Ball Z fan growing up, then I stopped. But when the movie came out, me and Max watched it, and she was like breaking it down to me. Because I'm sitting there going like confused. I'm like, so is that Goku? Like, who is that? Like, I know who Goku is. Cause I know all about the Super Saiyans. I just didn't know certain aspects, and I'm like, why can't they defeat Broly? She was breaking it down, so it made me go back to actually start watching it more.
Okay.
So.
I actually don't like Dragon Ball Z.
Really?
Don't like it.
Why not?
I just couldn't get into it. Like, you know what's gonna happen.
You're right.
It's so predictable.
Right,
and I really did try when I was younger. It was like, because it was all on Toonami, so it was like Sailor Moon, Dragon Ball Z. What else? I don't remember. I'm drawing a blank. But whatever was in that hour time slot or 2 hour time slot or whatever. But I just couldn't get into it. My ex, oh my God, he tried really hard. And that and Bleach. And I'm like, I don't like it. Those are the two popular ones I just don't like. But there's a lot of other random stuff I do. I won't get into that now. But maybe one day we'll talk about all the things that makes us nerd. You're more like an intellectual nerd. So like, nerds that will watch documentaries randomly or read a random book, they're on the cusp of geek because y'all are smart. Yeah. Some nerds are just me. Y'all just do weird stuff. That's me.
I mean, I guess because depends. Because I guess people like, for example, I will play music and blast it in my ear and rap it out loud and sing it out loud as if I'm the singer. And everybody think that's weird. I'm just like, yo, that's normal to me. Like, you know what I'm saying? I could be in Walmart, people just looking at me crazy.
That's not, wait a minute, like, that's not normal?
To me it's normal. Cause
Same.
You know what I'm saying? I've been doing it for a while.
I don't even need no headphones. I'll just start rapping.
You know what I'm saying? People just be like, yo, you embarrassing me. I'm like, well... And then people get mad because, like, I'm really loud in the movie theater. Like, I'm, like, one of them guys to where, like, if something's going on and I feel like I'm clapping, I'm like, yeah, like, yeah.
I'll do that, too.
When Queen and Slim come out, I can't wait. Because I promise you right now, when he shoots and kills that comic, that's what you get. Like, I'm like, that's me. Like, that is me all the way. So
I can't watch that movie. I can already tell it's gonna aggravate me.
It is gonna aggravate me, but
it's gonna annoy me when
have to watch
when I see the cop interaction part, and then that they have to go through that whole,
real quick, and then after that we'll wrap it up.
Yeah.
I'm tired of Hollywood using that as a narrative, the cop interaction or slavery interaction. Like I don't want to watch Harriet Tubman.
I would not have seen it if it wasn't my I taught an African American humanities class this semester, and they wanted to see it, so I saw it with them. I would not have seen it. I can't. That is a trigger for me.
Like, I haven't watched that. The only slave movie I watched was Django.
That's the only me too.
And
I ain't seen 12 Years a Slave.
I definitely wasn't watching 12
I've been trying to watch that movie about 5 times. I keep stopping it at the same part, and I just give up. I can't do it.
Only reason why I watched Django is because DiCaprio was in it, Jimmy Fox was in it.
Well, I'm a Tarantino fan.
Exactly, and I knew even though it was going to be slave, it was going to be funny.
Yep.
Only reason
that's
why.
the only same.
And it was long, but it was worth it.
Yeah, that's a good movie because it hit everything without giving me the triggers. There's a word for it. It's like not vicarious trauma. It's like generational trauma or something. It's just stuff that we see. Like, just because it's a movie, if you are from that culture, it can still trigger you and can be traumatic for you. I cannot watch that stuff. I get angry. So I agree with you. I'm sick of it. Like, I want to see a movie about black kings and queens from Africa or something.
For real, actual. Like, I really want to see them do a Prince of Egypt movie, but with how it was animated with all black people. I think that would be dope.
Yeah.
Because I ain't like the whole.
And to that point, I love that idea too. And that other movie, you talking about that movie that just came out where it was like no black people in it? All right. Same. I agree. I wish it was done properly. But there are other kingdoms too, because Egypt, they don't even like to identify as being part of the African continent. And that time period too is kind of like when some of the Greeks started coming in and stuff. So I want an actual black like West Africa black nation. I want to hear their war stories and how they conquered stuff and build their own. Yeah. I want to hear something different. Like, it doesn't have to be Egypt, slaves, or.
Like, I'm really interested into seeing the movie with Samuel Jackson and the Anthony Mackie Jr., the banker. You seen the preview for that?
I feel like I have.
That's going to be that's something different. That's going to be pretty good.
That's good. Is it a historical thing or?
No, it's based on they said it's based on true events. Basically, how like these 2 black men like turned the banking game upside down and started using it for their benefit. Yeah. Like they were behind the scenes and they basically used this white man to act like he was doing all the work.
Oh yeah,
but
I'm watching
when
that.
It was really them. Like, he came to cahoots, and then he was like, "Look, you're basically going to say that you're doing all this, but in actuality, we're doing all the works. We're just paying you to be the face."
Yeah, I'm watching that. I already love that. Heck yeah. I'm doing that. That's what's up.
But I definitely appreciate you getting on.
Thank you for having me, for entertaining me.
You got any social media you want to plug in?
Yes, please follow me on YouTube. Nobody's on it. And I have a wonderful student intern that's been posting great videos. It's at Black Woman Be Well. You can also follow me on Instagram at Be Woman Be Well. That's the letter B, Woman Be Well. Go to my website, blackwomanbewell.com. All my links are up there too. I would love to have y'all on listening and supporting your girl, validating some black voices, just like my boy here is doing for the black female community. We appreciate you.
No problem, man. You already know where to find me at, man. Admin at Average Day 2. That's the email for the podcast plug and Everybody Eats if y'all want to do that. Average JTPC, that's the Instagram for the podcast, the original Playmaker, that's my normal Instagram, my regular Instagram. Twitter is the TOAJ podcast. The Facebook is Thoughts of an Average Joe podcast. If y'all want to keep getting the merchandise, just let me know. Just give me the money and then I'll just go get it made and get it back to y'all.
Give me the money.
ASAP. Because I don't like coming out of pocket.
I know, that's right.
I'm saying, so we're gonna definitely get you back on again.
Yay!
Season 2. This is gonna be dope. This is gonna be dope. All right, y'all. Until next time.
Bye.
16. Peace.